Are you a South African musician trying to figure out which one is better between 20,000 streams versus 30 loyal fans? Welcome to this episode where I plan on demystifying just that. Cue the intro. What's up, it's your boy Skill from skillmusicsa.com and welcome to my channel where I share information with my fellow South African musicians to help them improve on their music business. If this sounds interesting to you, please do consider subscribing as I do have other videos I think you will find informative. In this video, I plan on discussing which one is better between 30 loyal fans and 20,000 streams on, say, Spotify. Now, before I run off and start comparing the two, I would like to say that I'm not actually trying to prove that one is better than the other. What I'm trying to highlight is perspective, as each one has a benefit, and I would like to highlight that if you're going for a certain type of objective, you have to choose the other. Now, it's very possible to get both 20,000 streams and 30 loyal fans, but I would like to debate them separately, where you just get 20,000 streams from whoever and 30 loyal fans. Now, let me get into it. Starting off with the 20,000 streams, I've done a video before where I've highlighted that each stream is approximately 3 cents in rands. Now, this is particular for the South African context, so whatever country you are listening or getting listeners from, it will differ, but I'm focusing on the South African context. Now, a stream in South Africa between Apple Music and Spotify, let's just stick to Spotify, is approximately 3 cents, South African cents. Every time you get a stream, you get 3 cents. That's the one thing. Now, with the loyal fans, the scenario that I'd like to put in is every time you release any form of content, these loyal fans will consume whatever you release. No matter what you release, whether it's merchandise, music, etc., they would 100% focus on that. Now, I'm going to head to the PC so I can show you the calculations and basically highlight that there are two fundamental things that you have to remember when you are focusing on either loyal fans or on streaming. In terms of streaming, reach is a lot easier to achieve with streaming because 20,000 streams is a lot, it's broader, there's more people listening to it, so you are able to reach more people when you're focusing on streaming. In terms of loyal fans though, loyal fans will technically help you financially because they will be consuming, they will be buying, and 100% of the time are focused in promoting your music, at least helping you to benefit financially. So there's two really fundamental debates. One is reach and the other one is financial. Now let me go to my PC to crunch some numbers so you can see what I'm talking about. I've basically taken this sheet from DistroKid. You can get detailed analytics from DistroKid. So I'm not going to go through this again. I'll leave a link in the description of how I came and created this sheet and basically how I got to this value of more or less 3 cents. As you can see, it like fluctuates quite a bit. But basically, let's keep it at 3 cents every time you stream. Okay? So I'm going to put up the 20,000. Let's make it 20,000. So let's zoom in so you can see that. Okay. So if you have 20,000 streams, how much money? The money you'd make from that is basically 20,000 times that 3 cents. This is 600 rand. Okay. So from 20,000 streams, you have 600 rand. Now, it's not a lot of money. Basically, how I came to this, why I actually went into all this detail, I wanted to know how many streams would I actually need in order to cover my yearly distribution fee. So it came down to roughly 16,600, but I just made it a 20,000. So 600 is basically how much money you get from 20,000 streams. Now, that is one way of achieving what I was looking for. But now let's compare it if I said, let's say I have 30 loyal fans, okay? Let's put it here next to it. Okay, sorry. 30 loyal fans. Loyal fans. Okay. You have 30 loyal fans. Okay. Now, every time, now I don't want to have any costs for everything. I don't want to have any inputs, so that's why I wasn't considering having merchandise or anything. I was basically saying that every time I release a single, my loyal fans would buy. So, number of singles. Bear with me. So, number of singles. So, have one single, and then how much is one single gonna go for? Let's make it $1 USD. Okay, $1 USD. I'm gonna have to multiply this. $1 USD is basically 15 rand. Okay, so I'm just gonna put it as 15 rand. Let's not confuse it. $1 USD, and then conversion. Oops. Conversion is 15 rand. So for one single, they buy it for $1 USD. It is 15 rand per USD. And then how much would I make from that? The money. The money would be 30 fans. Oops. Times the number of singles times how much they buy it for in USD, and then you convert it to rands. So from releasing one single, okay, I am able to get 450 rand from 30 loyal fans. Basic maths. But obviously you're not releasing once or once a year, you know? So I have a target of at least releasing once every month. So if I were to say release 12 tracks, no albums, all of them are singles for $1 USD, the money that you get is approximately 5,000 rand. Now, what I'd like to highlight is the number of plays that you'd get from this scenario. Number of plays. I'm a mechanical engineer, so I do perform the statistics to kind of see which is the best way to achieve a certain goal. Okay, so forgive me for the number crunching. So for the number of plays, so you have 12 singles, and let's assume that your loyal fans only listen once. Once they purchase, they listen to it. You'd only have 360 streams versus someone who was pushing hard and got 20,000 streams. Just now I would like to highlight that getting 20,000 streams is not as easy as getting 30 loyal fans, in my personal opinion. If I were to have 30 loyal fans that I know whenever I drop are willing to buy, but I'm only releasing once a month. So I'm asking them once a month for $1. For the whole year, I could technically get 5,400 rand. That to me seems a lot more plausible. This scenario of loyal fans seems a lot easier, and there's a certain way you can go about achieving that versus getting 20,000 streams, and at the end of the day you still get 600. Now, I'm not saying streaming is useless. I kind of explained it already that streaming is a good way of finding new fans, and that's actually how that's how people are finding music nowadays. They stream, that's where they listen. So you have to stream. There's no running away from it. You have to go through the streaming platforms, but you have to focus on getting loyal fans, and you increase this number every year. You take tally, you reach out to them every month, every week. I've come to the point where I'm emailing my list now every week, just once a week, to say what's up, blah 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 blah, so they don't forget who I am. Like, social media has made it very complicated because people don't stay focused anymore. So you have to constantly be like, yo, I'm alive, I'm making music, blah blah blah, this is coming, yeah. And then once a month I ask them for $1. I've got 30 loyal fans. Oh, I don't, but I've actually got slightly less, but that's not where I'm going with this. The point is, if money is your focus, the loyal fans is where it's at. If streams and the reach and the amount of people that you want your music to be heard from, then streaming is the way forward. They kind of go hand in hand, so you have to kind of pick and choose. And by the way, I'd also like to highlight from the loyal fans scenario, since they bought the song and they also streamed it, you actually technically get more money. Not much more. That's 360 plays times that 3 cents. You only get like 3 cents. Oh, yeah, that's in rands already. You only get like 10 rand 80 cents extra. So in total, this is how much you'd get per year. So what I'm highlighting is remember where you're focusing. And if you're focusing on a specific thing, know the outcomes. If you're focusing on streaming, know the outcome will not be lots of money. If you're focusing on loyal fans, the outcome will most likely be money. Let me hypothetically say, let's say if you had 50. With 50 fans, you can get 9,000 a year. Okay, it's not a lot, but it's a lot more than 20,000 streams. And like, so I always find it interesting when because every year Spotify shares their streams, your reach, blah 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 blah, and then you get people with like 4,000 streams, 5,000 streams. It's an improvement. It's great actually, but at the end of the day, what that actually means is they made 150 rand the whole year from their music, if that's the only thing they've been focusing on, which is streaming. To start seeing proper stuff, you have to be hitting, I think it's like 50,000 before you start seeing 4 digits. 40,000? 35,000 then. Yeah, like you need 35,000 before you start seeing 1,000 rand. So streaming is a really tricky one if you need money. But I'm actually waffling now. So loyal fans. You have to have loyal fans. You get them on a mailing list, you interact with them either through the personal WhatsApp, you talk to them, you nurture that relationship, and you keep it. I don't know, there's several ways you can do it. Basically, if you want 30 fans, if you want 30 fans every day, you speak to 3 of them, or you speak to 6 of them for 5 days, and then 30. So like, there's a way you can kind of achieve the point of saying, okay, I've got loyal fans, versus streaming is not so cut and dry. You have to go through playlisting, you have to try several marketing ways, multiple revenue streams. So you have to just keep in mind that you know what you're doing. But yeah, I've waffled enough. I'd also like to highlight that Ryan Leslie is someone who is an independent musician who basically went from selling almost platinum, if he didn't go platinum, not too sure, but he sold million albums, but he's made more money by having about 30,000 fans, loyal fans, and he's made a financial gain by cultivating those loyal fans. He's had several other ways of doing this, but basically it boiled down to sometimes quantity is not quality. But that concludes this video, and I hope you found it informative. If you did, please hit the thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, as I do have other videos I think you will find informative. I'd also like to remind you that I have an online digital course titled Understanding Music Publishing in South Africa. The course is only 100 Rand. I'll leave a link in the description below. You can get it directly from my Beat store, or you can contact me on WhatsApp. Another thing is I have a WhatsApp group where I share weekly information to my fellow South African musicians, basically updating them on the latest information that I get from around the web. But that's concludes this video, and until next time, Skilligan the Hooligan signing out.